Today's content upload is a landmark for Premier 7. 200 videos the channel has managed thus far to bring forth to you, the fans. And what a way for it to be all about a comprehensive review of Jamaica Copa America campaign. What this means is that I will be doing a review of the 3 games we played, but guess what? I don't want for it to be drawn out and become annoying to the fans because of the frustrations, because of the emotional connections that we have with the Jamaica men's national team. I will not be utilizing the emotions really, but the main thing is for us to have an assessment and to understand what could have been better, where we have went wrong, and a lot more to come. So people, join Premier 7 right now for the chat. It is always a pleasure for Premier 7 to bring across useful content to you, the fans, from a perspective of not being biased. Because to be biased should never be the ideal way to explain football. And as was expressed earlier on, I will be doing a video surrounding a comprehensive review of Jamaica Copa America campaign. People, it was absolutely a stunner. But within the video, I am going to go through a few subtopics that includes a general talk, Jamaica's Copa America review by way of an in-game play that takes into consideration several factors like formation, style of play, substitution tactics. Then I will go to coach and player assist, right? And then I will just conclude with, is there any hopes going forward? But before I jump into such details, to be honest, I did a poll to hear what your opinion would have been, right? And the poll stated that should Premier 7 do a review of Jamaica Copa America campaign after they play Venezuela? Your thoughts? I received 35 votes. 46% says yes, 54% says no, with 4 likes. I could have decided to conclude with such ideology and decide not to do the video. But guess what? In the ups and in the downs, as your presenter, it is for me not to say to bring a calm to the storm, but to make some useful assessment as to how the team has been playing. I may not know everything, but my opinion and my knowledge based on even facts will do good to you, the fans, and for me as well as your content creator. So, in that case, people, before I jump into the general talk, I'm imploring and asking you to please watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. The more you engage, the more YouTube will recognize the channel and let this video go further and further. Because guess what? I am doing something not because I am passionate, but also for you, the people, who should understand, share your views about the game surrounding not only Jamaica, but football on a whole, even though this topic is based on the national team's Copa America campaign review. And of course, Premier 7 is not only available on YouTube, but also on TikTok and on Instagram. No, I want to jump into the general aspect of the review. But how about seeing the last goal that was scored on Jamaica? Yeah, man. Like we'll see again. And then we can learn from our mistakes. Alright, so the first part of the video takes into consideration the general talk. I mean, were there any much expectations for Jamaica to come out of the group and enter into round of 16 where the Copa America is concerned? The thing is, as I've mentioned earlier on, because we're fans, we will have that emotional attachment to the team. We want to win regardless of how bad, not so bad, or good our players can be. And that is the reason why when we lose our games, we will react. Not say poorly, but with aggression to some extent. Everyone react different to football because I'm not an easy person when it comes down to my team playing football and we're losing. But people, the expectation, maybe it was too much where Jamaica football was concerned. Even though we may rank here and there amongst the three teams, Mexico, Ecuador, and Venezuela. Venezuela, really and truly, I would not say they were the underdogs. We were. But they're the ones who topped the group. Ecuador finished second, and ourselves and Mexico are out of the competition. The thing is, for Venezuela, they have played in excess of 10 Copa Americas. And it is the first time they have been making it out of the group stage. Not to say that I am trying to safeguard Jamaica, but I am showing you something here that the tables can turn. However, we don't want to have the mentality to say, whether you're the adjust the year day. It is a real talk, but it's not something for which I work with. Play good to the best of your ability, and if you lose, then we can say at least we try. All right, so let me just jump away from that point and touch up on something that is going to be very important: the in-game play, formation, style of play, substitution, tactics. All right, so we played against three teams, as we should know, but based on observation, I have realized that Coach Hermer Algrimson and his men, right, I won't throw him alone under the bus, even though he's the main man of the national team. Jamaica played a formation that is not going to be the formation that he should go with consistently. And the reason for this is because we have lost all three games in a row. Yes, give thanks for a first in Copa America, but that is less of important compared to not getting a victory in the competition. For sure, the back line, well, we played three at the back continuously. We played four in the midfield. Or let's say, yes, we played four in the midfield, two in front of them, and then we have a striker up front. So, like a 3-4-2-1 formation, Jamaica has played throughout the Copa America. Now, is it a case in which Coach Algrims was trying something again? Maybe. It's a case in which he was trying to give other players an opportunity to, see how well they can manage in certain system. Back in the 1990s, 1998 to be exact, we played a formation with three at the back in I think 2 or 4 games, and we were blown away by Croatia and Argentina. Then a change was made and we defeated Japan. I am not a fan of the back three for Jamaica. If it could work, it could have worked. But based on our players, when the other teams are playing from a wider width and whipping crosses in the box, then again, the midfield should be compact, right? But the players may not be good enough to manage such pace and close footed passes by the opposition teams, which are a mixture of our area, right, and South American player. Because Mexico is in the central zone. How they play similar to the teams in South America. Fast pace, you know, pressing up high the pitch, and those things. So their style of play will give us burden to bear. And the back three struggled, whereas the head was concerned. Not to say the back three did not play well, but when we are bridge passing the midfield, that's where the pressure will come onto the back three, right? And it is obvious that we know what Jamaica's biggest issue is, that is the midfield. So the back line isn't bad, but the midfield is the area that needs a six and more so an eight. Whenever we decide to play the ball, we play the ball not bad from the back because Ethan Pinnock is a calm person, I would say. The calmest centre back we have. That's about here. Not bad. I got to understand that he's trying. Bernard received some good ratings there and then, but the midfield. We asked for Damian Lowe to play in the DM role. I will never forget the Serbia friendly, but sometimes we have to learn or to know whether or not this player is going to be good enough for such position. But it is all about an experiment. It is all about an experiment because we are yet to really find out who is the best to be played in the midfield, whereas the number 8 and number 6 is concerned. But then again, Coach Al Grimson is known as a coach who plays a double pivot. So what has happened? He has changed his own statics just to try something different. And Casey Palmer, Bobby Reed, Damian Lowe, and the list goes on. Forgive me if I don't mention other names. The midfield is not ideal, and we will struggle when the other competitions comes up. People, our style of play is not the best. We have played a way for which it is really and truly like one half good, one half bad, or let's say the entire game is poor. Our style of play is that we try to keep the ball at the back. Well, we sit a bit deeper than the norm. We don't try to hit on the break, but we play long ball. So we ignore the usefulness of the midfield because I guess there's no trust for any ball carriers. When the DM or the deeper line midfielder has the ball, he would pass it to somebody who will traverse with the ball going forward, link up with the number 10, or make a direct pass to the wingers or the front line. So our style of play is long ball, and that doesn't work. Jamaica reminds me of Manchester United with side to side football, long passes, players who are not fast enough, some bulky players who are just not good enough. But the effort is there. The players are trying. Sometimes I think they are giving up. Frustration will kick in. But quality wise, we are no match for those teams. And I think it's a good thing to realize that by way of getting the experience in the Copa America, yes, the disappointment is there. It proves to us that we have a lot more work to do. All right, we have a lot more work to do. And can this be turned around? Whereas the upcoming fixtures of different competitions are concerned, we never know. Now the substitutions throughout the team, I mean, they weren't the best. They weren't the best. Some late substitution, whereas attacking players were concerned, but before we bring on players who are defensive minded, playing safe football. Playing safe isn't bad, but it depends on when you want to play safe. You cannot have your players doing well and then you're going to make a change that is not required. I am not going to be the person to cuss the coach, be disrespectful to the coach, because guess what? You play the game, you understand the game. It is different from when you watch the game. Even though watching the game, you can make some proper assessment as to what went wrong. But I think the best way to speak on the matter is with a clear head, right? And the style of play, as I've mentioned before, it's not ideal, but the substitutions are not done properly and they're not utilized the right way. The tactics would have been something for which could have been ideal, I must say, for the national team, whereas choosing or switching up your tactics, like your formation, by some changes, that was not seen really by Coach Al Grimson. But I mean, it needs to be a case which Jamaica has to improve. We looked good here and there, but we're losing, we're struggling, and it is obvious that our team is not good enough. Yes, we have better players compared to others, but we're still not being utilizing those who needs to be utilized. And guess what? I am going to just talk right now about the coach and the players. An assessment. Coach, let me say this. Coach Al Grimson, many persons will be saying that it is time for him to go. Watching Manchester United, a lot of persons say Eric Ten Hag should go. Persons will say, where is the players that Coach Al Grimson wants? Does he have all the players that he wants? And if he doesn't have the players that he wants, he may not be the ideal coach who can make these existing players great players. I would not say world class, but great players. Right? That is something for which we have to look on. What about the backroom staffs? Do Mr. Al Grimson have the backroom staff that can help him to get the best out of these players? It is not for one man to do. It is not for one man to take up the Jamaica team on his head and lead it. JFF, don't think I am ignoring you. When the top of all things is not properly constructed or weak, everything will crumble. Everything will crumble, and that is the reason why Jamaica is crumbling. Because the head of things, no disrespect, may not be firm enough, may not be strict enough, may not be wise enough, may not be educated enough where football is concerned that will help us to choose the rightful coach or to see the rightful coach coming in and the rightful player. Jamaica is yet to have a system, and where players is concerned on the pitch and off the pitch, professionalism is being seen, but it is still not what we want to see in terms of performance. Players assessment. I have to give some hats off to some players like our goalkeeper in Mr. Wade, conceded in excess of 5 goals throughout the tournament, but let's be real. He stepped up to the plate. He played excellent against um think Mexico. He played well against Ecuador. Let's say overall he has been one of the best players. Lemby Kisa, anybody say Lemby Kisa play bad, like myself at times, will be screwed. Lemby Kisa, Olympia props. Ethan Pinnock, the best centre back I saw in the national camp. Olympia props. Right? Here and there, Hector, Bernard, everybody here. All right, on the props. I give everybody them props, but the midfield again, we cannot find a combined two to play as double pivot six or a eight and a six. We're struggling. Bobby Reed, hold on for your props. Low, no, no, I'm today, man, no at all. I don't know, but he's a player that Jamaica will never leave out. He has been a servant for the country for years. I don't know, but the coach has to make some good decisions, man. Casey Palmer, the game against Venezuela, bro. You looked frustrated, and I can understand. Walking on the pitch, not him alone though, but it was obvious on your end. Now I go call the players, just respect. Gregory, all right. I think there could be questions surrounding him now and Amara and Bell as to who will be the rightful option. But then again, we're not trying to create any form of disruption in the camp, but we just want to have the best person starting with good backups. All right. Nicholson. God. Some persons say Nicholson should be on the bench, and Antonio is better. Antonio is a better striker, but we have our days when we saw Nicholson outdo Antonio and Antonio outdo Nicholson. We're not trying to create any chaos in the fan base. We have to choose the rightful players to start. Coach, you can't start two bulky strikers up front, and them somewhat slower than the ordinary strikers. Not technical enough. Maybe we can score the goals, but we need better upgrades or better selections. Right? But what we have to work with, or we have to do better scouting with those players who are there in the JPL. Some proper work needs to be done. And then again, I mentioned the staffs. If not, I mention it no. Coach Al Gibson need scouts and staffs who he can work with, who understand Jamaica football, who he has to make up his mind to listen to, because who is in the Jamaica system, who have the knowledge, who is not biased, and I don't want any rubbish in the camp. The national program at the highest level should be the best level. That person or those persons should work with Al Gibson, and Al Gibson should work with them because Jamaica has to do better going forward, and we're still not there, right? Cephas, right? Kyle Dixon, still young, needs time to get better. Anderson, same thing. I left out a few names. Let's have um, Wes Harding. Get a chance. Wasn't bad as well. Think Bell received an opportunity. Marshall. So Al Gibson is giving players some chances, but you know, the last game, of course, he just gives some players some chances. But the in-game management and the selection of players has to be better. You don't get what you want because there is not an easy road to get those players that you're in need of, but you have to just, work with what you have. It is hard though, but you have to just work with what you have. But man like Lambert, Russell can play as a six, bro, but you're not giving him the chance. I don't know what is happening behind the scenes, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But Jamaica is not playing convincing football. We're not playing on a continuous basis that will, let us feel proud of our team and to say, yeah, man, we are gone, man, we are gone. We still have play garbage ball. And it could be taken from many angles, but the disrespect is a no-no. But the passion is a yes, yes. All right, so thing is now, any hopes going forward? We have a big break from now to I think September. Upcoming games will be coming again, inclusive of World Cup qualifiers September or after September in October. It is time for JFF to do them job properly. It's time for them to put on them foot. And the reason why some of our players aren't performing well is because the fact that they may realize that who is in charge is not good enough. It's when people respect you, and once you respect those persons as well, you will get a better feedback, outcome, performance, and everything from that person. But But once players no response to your instruction because they don't respect you, then guess what? Is either them go or you going on. And Leon Bailey is the most popular name. Take him break, and nothing has changed for Jamaica. So people are say Bailey, if we do without him, this, and blah blah blah. People, let's focus on the national program that has to be structured better. The more we get persons who understand the game, who will be more of those who achieve more than the norm. For example, let's use Europe. Zidane coming back to Real Madrid, being the coach. Only a few players could say that they have received trophies in similarities like a Zidane. But Zidane can't say with everything at Madrid. World class player for France, world class player for Madrid. You need a leader like that in the camp who are responsible. Well, who is responsible for leading the team. And if Jamaica don't have those leaders, we're not going to win. So, people, I hope that this video was one that you listened to, shared, because you're hearing from somebody who has a constructive mind surrounding the game. I may not have all the knowledge, but when I talk, it makes sense. So, your time to share your view on a comprehensive review of Jamaica Copa America campaign. People, Dagnya Musapa, we get brushed aside, but going forward, going forward, where is the hopes? Brush up on this. Where is the hopes? If we don't have any hopes, then we're not gonna cope. And then our program will be crashing down and down and down, and we will look like nonsense. All right, people, it's time for me to go, but just remember the topic: a comprehensive review of Jamaica Copa America campaign. It's time for me to go, but I always want to see the video trending by way of your review, reaction, and then we'll always have a time to reason about what was being discussed. All right, it's time for me to go. Until then, we will meet again. Bye bye for now.